All right, good day. This is Ms. Winters, and this is your outline tutorial for how to construct an MLA formatted outline. So what you want to ensure is that you have uploaded this document here, the Writing 101, as well as your thesis statement outline template, this exemplar that I have provided for you all, the student outline exemplar, your own set of note cards, as well as this template here that shows you how to introduce quotes or explanations. So we're going to start off here with this actual presentation because a research paper technically is an informative or explanatory essay. So you'll notice that there are resources embedded within this actual PowerPoint. However, you do not have to go and perform the practice exercises unless you want to. All right, so we will be writing within using the standard 5-paragraph informative essay structure involving the introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and your conclusion. Within your introduction, you want to ensure that you have an attention getter, which can be an interesting fact, statistic, quote, rhetorical question, figurative language device, or anecdote, something that pertains to the topic that you're discussing and that's going to engage your readers. The second part, you're going to need at least 3 to 4 narrow details. These are actual details that reflect background information about your subject matter, or maybe like 3 to 4 rhetorical questions that foreshadow what you're going to be talking about within your thesis statement. However, we call them narrow details because each sentence should further hint towards your thesis statement in regards to what you're going to be talking about. And then lastly, you have your thesis statement. And remember, you are required to have a 3-point thesis statement because it aligns with each body paragraphs, being that there are 3 body paragraphs in your research paper. So here we have an actual example of an introduction. And if you go back here to your outline, what you will notice is that your introduction is all mapped out here, okay? And it's labeled, so you can know exactly what sentences to type. Again, you must write in third person. Oh, and let's not forget that your thesis statement needs to be at the top and you need to have a title of your essay. It doesn't mean that you cannot change it later. So then the next component would be the body paragraphs. So here's a breakdown of the actual format. All right. So you will need to have your topic sentence, which basically introduces your point with a transitional word or phrase. Then we have your intro to evidence sentence, also known as a supporting detail. And this is a sentence that foreshadows what you're going to be talking about within the research that you've pulled. And then you will pull a piece of evidence, also known as a citation, that is going to come directly from your index card, your note cards, in regards to the topics that you have chosen for your thesis statement. So for example, in body paragraph 1, you'll notice that the thesis statement for this particular example should pertain to Diwali. Okay, so India conducts many traditions such as Diwali, Holi, and silent prayers. These are the points that are each body paragraph should be about. All right. So you have an actual example of the introduction. And now I'm moving forward to the body paragraph. All right. And then you have to explain how your actual evidence connects to your thesis statement. The process repeats itself 3 times in regards to the point that you're going to talk about. And I'm going to show you in regards to how this student illustrates her research about Diwali. And then lastly, there's a concluding sentence. So you do not have to highlight as you go, but it definitely helps. I'm going to go ahead and take this down, but you should be using this template within your outline. And just to be clear, the PowerPoint actually is parallel to the outline. A supporting detail is the same thing as intro to evidence, and citation is the same thing as evidence. Your outline must be neat. All right, so for example, the topic sentence, to begin with, one of the most significant and popular traditions of India is the celebration of Diwali. This is great. She has a transitional word or phrase. I know that her point is talking about Diwali. Okay. All right, so this is a great start. And if it helps, you can actually label and put topic sentence. But for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to move forward. So next, our intro to evidence 1 is going to be a sentence that foreshadows what she's going to be talking about in the evidence that she's pulled. Mind you, sometimes it helps when you actually put the evidence in first and then you come back. But for now, we'll just go this way. So B, Diwali has an important significance in the country of India. Okay. That is the intro to evidence, also known as a supporting detail. So I know that basically the piece of evidence should foreshadow the importance of the significance of India when it comes to the celebration of Diwali. Next, we have evidence 1, also known as your citation, also known as information that you should be pulling from your note cards. These note cards are not for this particular paper. But again, notice we had 3 note cards here on laws. So the student in her essay, she should have 3 note cards on Diwali. The color is orange, okay? When you come here, if you need assistance, here are actual stems to help introduce your quotes or explanations. And I tried to embolden the ones that she used within her actual outline. All right. So moving forward, in the article of Diwali, it states, okay, that is her introductory stem, comma, quote, Diwali is known as Festival of Lights. It's a holiday that is celebrated in India by the many people of many faiths. Richardson. So I'm going to highlight this orange, okay? This is good to go. And apparently this is an actual quote, okay, from one of her cards about Diwali. The last name here, Richardson, is pretty much the author who actually produced this quote. So she's given credit. Perfect. Next, she needs to ensure that she has an explanation explaining how Diwali connects to it being like an important celebration. All right. So then that's when we will go here, back to our key, and our explanation of evidence will be highlighted yellow for evidence 1. Okay, also known as your citation. Oh, my apologies. Okay, so here we are within our explanation. Notice she has a stem to elaborate. Diwali is a holiday that's widely celebrated and represents light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. The holiday is derived from a religious narrative that those who believe in Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism often follow. So her explanation actually is coming, you know, basically after sitting down, trying to connect the dots, she's brainstorming how this quote pertains to the significance of Diwali in India. So this is great. That is her explanation. All right. So I'm not going to go over the other ones, but you'll notice that you'll need a transitional word or phrase here and there. And the same procedure will happen 2 more times, except I see here she has another quote, but yours would be a paraphrase card. And then the next one would be your summary card, okay? Or whatever order that you want to put it in, all right? So that's why I said it's very important that you have for your evidence or citation part, your note cards ready, and you have to ensure that you're giving credit in MLA format by using in-text parenthetical citations. So again, the process repeats itself 3 times. I'm not going to highlight it for the sake of this tutorial. I don't want it to be too long. All right. Therefore, you should see this pattern 3 times as noted here. And then lastly, you want to ensure that you have a concluding sentence summing up what your particular paragraph is about. Okay, I'm gonna highlight this hot pink. But beforehand, notice how she has to conclude her actual transitional word or phrase, signaling that she's coming to an end, okay? All right, so this is great, all right? So then next, you will go ahead and focus on your second body paragraph and follow the same process, except you will focus on your second point in your thesis statement. So for example, hers is Holly, and then she'll go to her note cards about Holly and ensure that she uses her quote, paraphrase, and summary card for Holly. The same process. She's given credit in MLA format. And then she does it the same thing lastly for the third body paragraph for silent prayers, because that is her third point. And then she has her conclusion. So the conclusion is fairly simple. You're going to ensure you have a transitional word or phrase and restate the thesis statement. So you can always rephrase it, change it up a bit. I recommend copying and pasting it if you want to ensure that you have it exactly. But yeah, the goal is to rephrase your thesis statement, but still provide your 3 points. Okay, so I'll go back here. As previously informed, that's a transitional word or phrase, India conducts many traditions such as Diwali, Holi, and silent prayers. Okay, so that is correct. And I'm just highlighting this so you can see it better, okay? There's no particular reasoning behind the color codes here, all right? Then we have our 3 concluding points, as noted here. And these are actual sentences recapping what each body paragraph was about. I'm not going to read them to you for the sake of time, but it's just a sentence encapsulating what each point was about. Oh, excuse me. All right. And then lastly, you should end with something like a profound statement or something that's going to make people think about future research. So these traditions have survived generations to continue to have an impact from an international standpoint. Today is pretty much reflecting on something that's profound or thoughtful, or maybe poses future implications, or maybe you'll ask a question. But regardless of what you do, it all has to be in third person, all right? And then that's it. You would then go ahead and submit your document. Well, thank you so much for your time. Make sure that when you hit share, that you change and give me access to comment, and you'll attach this for 4.5, and you're done. Well, I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful day or night.